Hello students, welcome to our online platform. Myself Engineer PP sir, your physics mentor. So in previous lecture we started gravitation. What is gravitation? What is Newton's law of gravitation? Gravitational field intensity and some pattern of questions we discussed in previous lecture. So today we'll discuss dependence of G at equator or any general position due to rotation of earth. Due to rotation of earth. So see, when earth rotates on its axis, then in that situation this becomes its actual size. So in general practice we consider earth as spherical, but in actual it is in oval shape. Oval shape, or we can say elliptical shape. So here this is known as axis and this is known as equator. This axis is also known as here pole. Pole and equator. So this is the pole, vertical line is pole and horizontal line is equator. It is equator. So you can clearly see from here by this diagram that distance of this equatorial point is larger than distance of this polar point. If I say that radius towards equator is RE and radius towards pole is RP, then radius of equator is greater than radius of pole. Radius of equator is greater than radius of pole. It means we know that small g is equal to gm upon r square. So from here, if radius of equator is larger than radius of pole, then we can say that gravitational acceleration at pole is greater than gravitational acceleration at equator. It means GE is always less than GP. Means value of gravitational acceleration at polar point is always greater than gravitational acceleration at equatorial point. So this is the general concept. Now see, if we talk about its rotation, then due to rotation of earth, let us say this is the shape of earth. It is rotating by an angular velocity omega. This is its center. Radius of earth is r. Let us say this is any initial point A. Earth starts rotating, and let us say at any point it reaches a destination point B. Here this angle is, let us say, lambda. So value of gravitational acceleration due to rotation is g dash is equal to g into 1 minus omega square r. So this is the value of gravitational acceleration due to rotation of the earth. See, at the equatorial point, if we say that at any point which is at equator, then in this situation at general point, this relation is for equator. At general point, g dash is equal to g into 1 minus omega square r cos square lambda. And this is the value of gravitational acceleration at equator. So I directly place this relation because at equatorial point lambda becomes 0. So if we place lambda is equal to 0 degree, then cos 0 degree is equal to 1, and this relation is g dash is equal to g into 1 minus omega square r. Simply, if we talk about at equator, At equator we have discussed. At pole, so at pole lambda becomes equal to 90 degree. As we discuss about its polar point, then at polar point lambda becomes equal to 90 degree because this is the polar situation. So here if we place lambda is equal to 0 degree, then cos 90 is 0, and this complete omega square r into 0 becomes 0. It means g dash is equal to g, or you can say that gp is equal to g. So at any point on pole of earth, value of gravitational acceleration is equal to g. Value of gravitational is equal to g, while at equatorial point it depends on its rotation. At equatorial point it depends on its rotation, and we can clearly see from here that it is g minus g omega square r. It means it is always smaller than gravitational acceleration at the poles. So this is the general relation which you have to remember. Now see, this is the simple concept. Now in case of weightlessness, at the equator, so weightlessness means that m into g dash is equal to m into g. So it is equal to mg dash is equal to mg, or we can say it is equal to 0. So from our relation, using this relation, if we say that mg dash is equal to 0, it means mg into 1 minus omega square r is equal to 0. So see, or g into 1 minus omega square r is equal to 0, or we can say that omega square r is equal to 1. Omega square r is equal to 1. So in this situation, we have to calculate time period. So time period is omega square is equal to 1 upon r, or omega is equal to, so we can place omega is equal to 2 pi upon t. 2 pi upon t is equal to omega. So it is 4 pi square upon t square. So we can say, I can directly place this value. It is 4 pi square upon t square is equal to 1 upon r, or time period is t is equal to 2 pi root r. Value of g is also here. Oh, सॉरी स्टूडेंट्स, ये अपन ने यहाँ पर थोड़ा सा मिस कैलकुलेशन कर लिया यहाँ पर. So from here see, it is g is equal to g into omega square r, or mg dash is equal to m minus omega square r. So this relation, yeah, it's right. Omega square r is equal to 1. So from here we can calculate its value. Time period t is equal to 2 pi root r upon g. T is equal to 2 pi root r upon g. This is the time period here. Now see, if we talk about gravitational potential, then gravitational potential is represented by Vg, or you can simply represent it by V, or simply can represent by V. So what is gravitational potential? So as we study in electrostatics about electric potential, then in gravitational field we simply discuss gravitational potential similar to electric potential. So let us define it. Let us say this is any point mass m, and we are considering that initially any mass of having magnitude 1 kg is placed at infinity, and we are moving this object of unit mass from infinity to any point situated in gravitational field of any mass m. So let us say we are placing this m naught at this place P, which is situated at r distance. This is point O. Then work done in moving or work done in establishing this object of plus 1 kg mass from infinity to any point situated in gravitational field of other object. So how to define gravitational potential? Work done in moving an object of unit mass from infinity to any point situated in gravitational field of other object. So this is defined as gravitational potential. So mathematically we can say that V is equal to W upon m naught. V is equal to W upon m naught. This is the mathematical relation for gravitational potential. Or we can say that if m naught is equal to 1 kg, then V is equal to W. It means work done in moving this object of unit mass from infinity is equal to gravitational potential. So what is the unit? What is the unit of gravitational potential? So its SI unit is, see, from here work done is in joules, mass is in kg. So its SI unit is joule per kg. Its SI unit is joule per kg and its dimension is, so dimension is m0 L2 T minus 2. So m0 L2 T minus 2 is the dimension of gravitational potential. This can be calculated by placing dimension of work done and mass. So dimension of work done is m1 L2 T minus 2 and work done of mass, unit of mass is kg. So its dimension is m1. So m1 is cancelled out and it remains m0 L2 T minus 2. Then next thing, which is about direction of gravitational potential. So it is clear from here that we simply know that what is the amount of work done. What is the amount of work done? We do not know that what is the direction of this work done. So we simply say that gravitational potential is a scalar quantity. Gravitational potential is a scalar quantity. So this is the another relation. It is a scalar quantity. Now see, next, potential due to point mass. So potential due to point mass. So same concept. Let us say this is any point mass. We are moving any object of unit mass from infinity to this point P. So work done in moving it from infinity to here is equal to gravitational potential and it is equal to V is equal to G m upon R. V is equal to G m upon R. One more thing, gravitational potential is a scalar quantity and here it is clear that work is done against the gravitational field of mass m. So here it is minus of Gm upon R. It is minus of Gm upon R. Minus sign gives opposite direction. So V is equal to minus Gm upon R. If we establish, if we plot a graph between V and R, then see, here it is inversely proportional relation, but it is negative sign. So if we plot a graph between V and R, then this relation is this way. Initially, if r is equal to 0, then potential is 0, potential is infinity, and as r increases, then value of v increases in negative. So its graph is like this way. So this is the graphical representation of gravitational potential with r. V is inversely proportional to minus 1 upon r. Minus 1 upon r. So this will be the graph. So this is due to point mass. Simply if we talk about superposition, so superposition is also applicable in case of gravitational potential. So superposition principle, and in case of scalar quantities, we consider that in any given system, net gravitational potential is equal to algebraic sum of all the potential or all the individual potentials. So net potential in a system is equal to all individual potentials in that system. Rather, we can say equal to algebraic sum, because it is a scalar quantity. So we will use algebraic sum of all individual potentials in that system. So this is the general concept of electric potential. Now see, you are generally asked relations for hollow sphere and solid sphere. So if we talk about first for hollow sphere, then I discussed in previous lecture also that your hollow sphere behaves as conducting sphere in electrostatics. तो क्या कॉन्सेप्ट यहाँ पर बच्चों आपको याद रखना है, बिहेव्स एज conducting sphere in electrostatics. So if you have studied electrostatics, then you can clearly say what are the relations for hollow sphere due to gravitational potential. Let us say this is a hollow sphere. It means complete mass is distributed on its outer surface. Let us say its radius is capital R and distribution of mass is m. Distribution of mass is m. So for hollow sphere, we consider three places where we have to calculate gravitational potential. One is at any outer point, second one is at any point on its surface, and third one is inside the sphere. So first one outside, second one on the surface, and third one inside. So see, in outside of this hollow sphere, V out is equal to minus gm upon r, small r. So small r is the distance of that point which is situated outside this given hollow sphere. On the surface, so on the surface it becomes small r is equal to capital R, and V surface is equal to minus gm upon capital R. But when we move inside that hollow sphere, then what I said that it behaves as conducting sphere in electrostatics. So here potential distributes uniformly throughout this hollow sphere. It means at any point inside that sphere, potential becomes equal to gravitational potential at its surface. It means it is uniformly distributed throughout its surface. So V in is equal to V surface, or it is equal to minus gm upon r. Minus gm upon r. Now if we plot a graph between V and r, then what will be relation? So graphical relation, let us say this is r, this is V, this is small r is equal to 0. So we plot a graph. Then let us say we are starting this graph from its center O. its center O. So from its center to its surface, it is clear that gravitational potential is independent of small r. It is constant. Capital R is radius of given hollow sphere. So it is constant. So let us say that this is its value, which is constant from 0 to any point where small r becomes equal to capital R. So this is the graph. Then as we move outside the hollow sphere, then potential decreases, and here negative sign is there, it means it increases in negative. So this is the graph this way. So this is the graphical representation. Here it is V in, this relation is for V surface, and this is for V out. So this is the graphical relation for hollow sphere. Now next, इसके बाद बच्चों अपन बात करते हैं, सेकंड केस लेते हैं हमारा सॉलिड स्फीयर. तो सेकंड इज सॉलिड स्फीयर. So if I compare it with electrostatics, then solid sphere means insulating sphere. So it behaves as insulating sphere, in electrostatics. So let us say this is insulating sphere of radius capital R. Now mass is uniformly distributed. In the complete sphere. So ये इस तरीके से यहाँ पर completely mass का distribution हो गया बच्चों यहाँ पर इसमें. तो ये mass m कहाँ पर हो गया? In complete volume, capital R is radius of this solid sphere, and now again we have to calculate gravitational potential at different positions. So again we are considering 3 points: outside, at the surface, and inside. So see, first two cases remains constant. It means V out is again equal to minus Gm upon R. At surface, small r is equal to capital R. So V surface becomes equal to minus Gm upon capital R. And if we talk about any point which is inside this solid sphere, then we use V in is equal to minus Gm upon 2r cube into 3r square minus small r square. So this is the relation. Now see, if you have to calculate gravitational potential at the center, so at the center small r is equal to 0. At the center of the solid sphere, small r is equal to 0. So if we place small r is equal to 0, then it becomes equal to Vc is equal to minus 3 by 2 Gm upon r. Or you can say that Gm upon r is equal to V surface. So V center is equal to 3 by 2 times of V surface. So this is the another important relation which can be asked directly in your ICR, that gravitational potential at the center of a solid sphere is 3 by 2 times of gravitational potential on its surface. Now plot these relations into a graph. तो ग्राफ पे बच्चों अपन ने इसको प्लॉट किया तो देखो क्या हुआ. दिस इज वैल्यू ऑफ आर, दिस इज वी, हियर इट इज 0 which represents center, so at the center Vc is equal to 3 by 2 V surface. Let us say this is any point which represents value of gravitational potential. Now what is given, that as we move towards the surface, then relation is minus Gm upon 2 capital R cube into 3r square minus small r square. It means potential here decreases. This is the relation. And then as we reaches at the surface, then its value is minus gm upon r. It means it becomes constant. It becomes constant. So here it is vc, and here it is vc, and let us say here it becomes v surface. It means small r is equal to capital R, and as we move away, then again this relation becomes like this. So this is the graphical representation of gravitational potential for solid sphere. This line is not a straight line, and in case of hollow sphere we studied that this was the straight line, because here it was constant, minus gm upon r was constant. But in case of solid sphere, we can clearly see that at the center its value is 3 by 2 times of surface. So it is 3 by 2 times, and this value represents at the surface. So this will give v surface. You can represent this relation here, that this point gives small r is equal to capital R. So this is small r is equal to capital R, and it represents v surface. So it is clear from our values, and after the point which is situated outside it, it is inversely proportional to R. So this graph becomes like this way. So these are some basic graphs which you have to remember for your competitive section. These graphs are directly asked in your competitive section. Now let us say a pattern of question, कि किस पैटर्न का क्वेश्चन यहाँ पर पूछा जा सकता है. Let us say we are given a solid sphere of mass m is equal to 750 kg, solid sphere of mass 750 kg, and radius, its radius is 10 meter. Its radius is 10 meter. We are given that if value of gravitational potential at small r is equal to 5 centimeter, if value of gravitational potential at small r is equal to, no, you have to directly calculate value of gravitational potential at small r is equal to 5 centimeter. ये पूछ लिया बच्चों अपने को क्वेश्चन. सो सिंपली क्या रिलेशन यूज करना है, आपको क्या देखना है यहाँ पर, दैट स्मॉल r इज इक्वल टू 5 सेंटीमीटर एंड कैपिटल R इज इक्वल टू 10 मीटर, और take it as 5 meter also. So it means that point where we have to calculate gravitational potential is situated inside the solid sphere. It means you have to calculate gravitational potential. This is the total radius 10 meter, and you have to calculate here. So this way, this is that solid sphere again, and mass will be considered of that. So in this situation, you can directly use the formula that V in is equal to minus 3 by 2 gm upon r cube into gm upon 2 r cube into 3 r square minus small r square. You can directly use this relation. Here capital R is 10 meter, small r is 5 meter, g and m is given to you, so you can calculate. So from here you can say that V in is minus 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11, mass is 750 kg 2 r cube means 10 to the power 3, and it is 300 minus 25. So from here you can calculate this value of gravitational potential inside the solid sphere. Another pattern, if gravitational potential at the surface of hollow sphere of radius 8 centimeter is 5 volt, then find potential at, so I am asking potential at two different positions. First one at r is equal to 4 centimeter, and second one is at r is equal to 12 centimeter. So if you are asked at any point inside the hollow sphere, then you should simply know the concept that in case of hollow sphere, gravitational potential is uniformly distributed. So you can directly say, in first case, you can directly say that point is inside the hollow sphere, so V in is equal to V surface. V in is equal to V surface. V surface is given as 5 volt. So here again it will be 5 volt. So this is the simple relation in first case. Now see, in second case you have to calculate value at R is equal to 12 centimeter. So see, by using this relation V in is equal to minus Gm upon R, first of all you have to calculate value of small m. Mass is not given. So by using first relation you will find mass. So you can say that Gm is equal to V in into R. V in is 5 and capital R is 8. So it is 40. It is in centimeter. So 40 into 10 to the power minus 2. So Gm is 40 into 10 to the power minus 2. Now in second case we will use V out is equal to minus Gm upon small r. Value of Gm is known to us. It is minus 40 into 10 to the power minus 2 divided by r. R is 12 centimeter. So 12 into 10 to the power minus 2. So it is 12 3 ja 36. So 3.3. So it is 3.3 volt. So at outer point, which is situated at 12 centimeter, it is minus 3.3 volt. So like this, you can calculate any value of gravitational potential at any given point. Now, so this is all about what is gravitational field, what is gravitational field intensity, and what is gravitational potential. Now, gravitational potential energy. Gravitational potential energy. So gravitational potential energy is simply, again we can use same concept. Let us say this is a point mass m, and now we are moving any mass m naught from infinity. Any mass m naught from infinity. It is not of unit value. So if this mass is traveling from infinity to any point in gravitational field of other object, then work done is equal to gravitational potential energy. So if any finite mass is moving from infinity to any point, from infinity to any point in gravitational field of other mass, then work done is stored in form of gravitational potential energy. Gravitational potential energy. In general, so in general, we can say, let us say that these 2 point masses m1, m2 are separated by a distance r, then you can say that gravitational potential energy is equal to minus g m1 m2 upon r. It is minus g m1 m2 upon r. Or you can say, from here you can say that ug is equal to v into r, v into m naught. V into m naught. Work done in moving. So Ug is equal to V into m naught. This is the relation for gravitational potential energy. And in general, if we consider that 2 point masses are separated by a distance r, then in that condition, Ug is equal to minus g m1 m2 upon r. So this is the general relation of gravitational potential energy. Now see, we have studied earlier also that any type of energy, either it is gravitational energy, potential energy, kinetic energy, thermal energy, every type of energy has same unit. In SI system it is joule, and its dimensional formula is always constant, which is m1L2 T minus 2. So here SI unit and dimension for gravitational potential energy is also the same. Now see, pattern of questions here. So I'm explaining one or two questions based on principle of superposition. Let us say we are given three objects. This is mass plus m, this is minus m, this is plus m. This is an equilateral triangle of side 2 meter. You have to calculate gravitational potential energy of the system. Gravitational potential energy of the system. So we know that energy is a scalar quantity. So if we have to calculate gravitational potential energy of this complete system, then we will simply use principle of superposition, or we can say that net gravitational potential energy is equal to algebraic sum of individual potential energies. So we will do algebraic sum of individual potential energies. Individual potential energies. So here potential energy is between two objects. So let us say between this and this, between this and this, and between this and this. So if I say these points are A, B, C, then U means net gravitational potential energy, which is equal to UAB plus UBC plus UAC. So algebraic sum of all the potential energies. Now formula is G m1 m2 upon R. So here G, let us say capital G, m1 m2. So minus sign will be used. So m into minus m. Now see, mass cannot be negative. Mass cannot be negative. So simply you have to consider it as plus m. You have to consider it as plus m. So it is G m into m square. Distance is 2. So it is 2. Again here value of all masses are same. So I directly can say that it is minus g m square upon 2, or I can say minus 3 by 2 gm square minus 3 by 2 gm square. So this is the net value of gravitational potential energy. Or in the same question, if you have to calculate gravitational potential at the centroid, then in that case, let us say this is the centroid where gravitational potential has to be calculated. So in this condition, we should know distance of that point where we have to find gravitational potential. So this way we should know these values from these point masses. So in case of equilateral triangle, if there is an equilateral triangle of side A का अगर कोई इक्विलेटरल ट्राइंगल है, देन डिस्टेंस ऑफ सेंट्रोइड फ्रॉम इट्स वर्टिस, देन डिस्टेंस ऑफ सेंट्रोइड फ्रॉम वर्टिसेज. तो ये डिस्टेंस कितनी होगी बच्चों? a/√3. You have to directly remember that this value is a/√3. How it is found? Let us say that if there is equilateral triangle, then every angle is of 60 degree. So this angle is 30 degree. Clear? Bisect कर रहा है इसको ये. So this angle is of 30 degree. If I draw a perpendicular on this side, then it becomes equal to half. So if it is 2, then it becomes 1, or if it is a, then this side becomes a/2, and we have to calculate this value a, or let us say it is o, AO. So AO is hypotenuse, a/2 is base, so base and hypotenuse are found in cos theta. So cos 30 is equal to base upon hypotenuse is AO, which we have to calculate. So AO is equal to a/2, value of cos 30. So cos 30 is √3 by 2. So it is √3/2. 2 is cancel out, or AO is a/√3. So directly keep in mind that distance between vertex and centroid is a/√3, where a is side of the equilateral triangle. So from this way we can easily calculate value of gravitational potential. So formula V is equal to minus gm/r. This formula we have to use. So from here we can calculate value of AO, BO and CO. All values are similar. So AO is equal to BO is equal to CO is equal to a/√3. In our question, A is given as 2/√3 meter. So VO is equal to, ये अपन ने बोल दिया बच्चों, VAO plus VBO plus VCO. बिकॉज ग्रेविटेशनल पोटेंशियल इज ए स्केलर क्वांटिटी. कंपोनेंट्स मत कर देना इसके, इसकी कोई डायरेक्शन नहीं होती है. देयर इज नो डायरेक्शन ऑफ ग्रेविटेशनल पोटेंशियल एंड ग्रेविटेशनल पोटेंशियल एनर्जी. सो वी विल यूज एल्जेब्रिक सम. सो हियर इट इज -3 gm upon A. A is AO. So AO is 2/√3. So I can directly say that it is 3√3 into gm/2, and its unit is joule per kg. Joule per kg. Volt मत लिख देना बच्चों. Volt is used in electrostatics. So its SI unit here is joule per kg. So these are some pattern of question which are based on principle of superposition. So in our next lecture we will start what are laws of Kepler related to planetary motion, and what is time period of satellites, and how to calculate pattern of question based on them. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching today's video. We will meet in next video with our new content. Thank you.